The House That Whispers. It was nearly midnight when Claire's car broke down. The rain was relentless, pounding the windshield like fists. She cursed, pulled over onto the shoulder, and stared into the black stretch of forest surrounding the narrow road. Her phone had no signal, of course. Headlights cut through the storm behind her, then vanished. She was alone. That's when she saw the house. Barely visible through the curtain of rain, it sat back from the road, half hidden by pines. The windows glowed faintly with yellow light. She hesitated. She hated the idea of knocking on a stranger's door in the middle of the night, but the alternative was sitting in a dead car until morning. She grabbed her coat and ran through the downpour. The front door opened before she could knock. An old woman stood there, thin as a shadow, her pale eyes gleaming. "You'll catch your death out there," the woman said. Her voice was cracked but oddly melodic. She stepped aside. "Come in." She hesitated, but the warmth spilling from inside was too inviting. She entered. The house smelled of cedar and something faintly sweet like dried roses. The wallpaper was old but intact, the furniture polished, yet something about the place felt hushed. Not quiet exactly, hushed, as if the walls themselves were listening. "Thank you," she said, dripping water onto the rug. "My car broke down. I just need to call for help." The woman shook her head slowly. "No signal here. Storm blocks it." She motioned to the living room. "Stay a while. Fire's warm." Claire followed, heart easing. Maybe the woman had a landline. Maybe she could sleep here until morning. The fire snapped in the hearth, throwing shadows that seemed too large for the room. Claire sat on the couch, rubbing her arms. "Do you live here alone?" she asked. The old woman smiled, but her lips barely moved. "No, the house keeps me company." The clock on the mantel ticked, steady and deep. Claire glanced at the walls. They were covered in framed photographs, dozens of them, families, children, men and women, some in black and white, some in faded color, all unsmiling, all staring straight at the camera. "Are these your family?" Claire asked. The old woman's pale eyes flicked to the photos, then back. "They stayed here for a time." Claire frowned. Something about the pictures unsettled her. None of the faces looked relaxed. They looked caught, like people holding their breath. "Where's your phone?" she tried again. The old woman tilted her head. "Upstairs, but the storm's loud tonight. Best wait till it passes." Hours seemed to stretch. The storm showed no sign of stopping. Claire yawned. The fire's warmth made her heavy-limbed. The woman watched her without blinking, her thin fingers clasped tightly in her lap. Finally, Claire stood up. "I'll just go use the phone quickly." The old woman didn't move to stop her. She only said, "Don't open the wrong door." A chill passed through Claire. She forced a smile and climbed the creaking staircase. Upstairs, the hall was darker than it should have been. Only one bulb flickered weakly, buzzing. Doors lined the corridor, 6 of them, identical, their paint peeling. Which one? She tried the first. It opened into a bedroom, dusty, unused. The second, a bathroom, the mirror cracked. The third door stuck before opening. Inside was another bedroom, this one with a crib. Claire froze. The crib was occupied. A baby doll lay inside. Its porcelain face cracked, one glass eye missing. Its little mouth was open wide in a silent scream. Claire shut the door fast, her skin crawling. The fourth door was locked. The fifth opened into nothing. Not emptiness, not a room, nothing. Just blackness that seemed to stretch forever, swallowing the light from the hallway. A cold wind rushed out, carrying a faint whisper. She slammed it shut, heart pounding. The sixth door stood at the very end. The knob was warm, as if someone had just held it. When she opened it, the air inside smelled like roses and rot. A rotary phone sat on a table in the center of the room. No chair, no lamp, just the phone. Relieved, Claire stepped inside. She lifted the receiver. There was no dial tone, only whispering. Not words at first, just rustling, like breath against the line. Then, "Don't stay, don't stay, don't stay." Her skin prickled. She slammed the receiver down. When she turned, the old woman was standing in the doorway. "You found the wrong door," the woman said softly. Claire stumbled back. "Where's the real phone?" The woman smiled, and for the first time, her lips peeled wider, too wide, stretching her face unnaturally. "There is no phone." Claire ran. She barreled past the woman, down the stairs, toward the front door. But when she yanked it open, the storm was gone. Instead of rain, there was silence. Instead of trees, endless blackness stretched in all directions. The world outside the house no longer existed. Claire slammed the door shut, gasping. The woman's voice floated from behind her. "The house keeps who it wants." Claire turned. The photographs on the walls had changed. The unsmiling faces were the same, but now one frame near the corner contained her own face, pale and wide-eyed, staring out. She dropped to her knees, trembling. The house whispered around her, the walls pulsing faintly, almost like breath. The last thing she heard before the fire blew out was the sound of many voices all whispering in unison. "Stay."